we have a lot of Americans that are out of work right now, right? A lot of people, their next thought, if they had a reduction in pay